The wind really isn't helping either. We got a 5, 10, maybe sometimes gusting 15-mile-an-hour wind due north, heading south. Yeah, Jackie says that we're stuffing our face out here while she's reading the news. I mean, we're working hard out here.
We are working hard.
What do you think of our ABC 22 grill?
Well, I think your grill's superb.
As a reminder, we've got the natural casings and then the regular hot dogs. I do want to show you a river that I'm keeping my eyes on for you. It's the MISSISQUOI River near North Troy. You can
the percentage of it hitting us full force.
Full force, 10%.
Okay.
So that's at least some good news. Now, feeling the effects, probably 60% or so.
Okay.
So it's still a good chance to feel the effects. We've set up a few scenarios that you can see here, a little bit of a closer look. Maybe it's not the prettiest graphic, but want to show you at least a few possibilities. As I mentioned, the 10% chance, the worst of it, the green through the Gulf of Maine. But that is, again, unlikely right now with our latest guidance. The best scenario, the most likely, we could say 60%, right through anywhere from about Long Island down to southern New Jersey, and then down into the purple areas, 30%.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8:40 this morning. Live look at triple Doppler radar, continuing to see snow showers coming down in and around the Plattsburgh, Burlington area. Just got a couple of ground reports here from our morning photographer who's been out on the road this morning, getting some video and getting some reports. Up and down Chittenden County, says I-89 southbound in and around the Burlington area is slow going. We're talking about 5 miles an hour, the pace on the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit in and around Burlington. Also, Vermont State Police reading a response here on their Facebook page. We've responded to numerous vehicle accidents, especially along I-89 in Chittenden County along these icy roads. Please slow down and drive carefully. Can't amen that one enough. Again, triple Doppler radar showing these snow showers, the highest concentration, of course, to the north, areas to the south really not seeing it. Let's stop it on the latest image. Burlington, Plattsburgh, still seeing the snow. Those trouble areas on I-89, I-87, still trouble areas. A heavier axis of snow is now pushing to the east of the Champlain Valley and will continue to do so. Temperatures, meanwhile, conducive of sticking snow, icy conditions. We'll take a look at some pictures that a viewer sent in from the Burlington area and the next weather hit. A lot of mid-20s to upper 20s. Where it's not snowing as much down south, temperatures are a little warmer. Now, I tried to put an ending time estimate for town-by-town details. Should end by about 9:30 this morning. Areas in northwest Vermont, of course, all depending where you live, and if it does, the back edge actually does make it to you by then. Ending now in Malone and portions of the Adirondacks, probably by about 9 a.m. for the western Champlain Valley. Highs today, upper 20s to low 30s up there to the northwest. Snow showers should only reach here about the spine of the Green Mountains, probably won't reach the upper valley, should end by about 10 a.m. Highs 35 to 40 down there. Should end around 11 a.m. for the Northeast Kingdom. We've seen a dusting to 1 inch so far. Upper 20s to low 30s, so a cool day overall. You see several chances for snow showers right through the end of the week. I do want to let you know tomorrow the snow shower threat more minimal than today. Maybe a dusting with a few light snow showers in southern Vermont and New Hampshire. Wednesday night and Thursday could get another dusting to 2 inches, so that means the commute Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning could be another slippery one. Dry and cool for Friday and Saturday, then a couple of rain showers possibly Sunday with highs in the 40s. So again, please do take it easy. The mountain's getting some nice natural snow, but again, lots of traffic reports this morning, Jackie. Hey, good morning, folks. It's 10 minutes past 6 o'clock here. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Hard not to. Yesterday, frankly, was a beautiful day in the Champlain Valley. Hopefully, you got to enjoy some of that nice weather. I know the ski resorts don't really like it too much, but we have some good news on the horizon for those folks. 58 degrees Burlington. Wow, that is way warmer. That's about 10 degrees warmer than your average high for this time of year. Winds are out of the south, 20 miles an hour, gusting to 28 miles an hour, and it was howling overnight. I'm sure a lot of you heard it out there. Burlington, by far the outlier this morning. I mean, take a look at it, 58 degrees compared to 38 Montpelier. So if you're making that morning commute to the Capital District area, 20-degree drop by the time you get to your destination. How about over to St. Jay, 27-degree drop. It's at 31 degrees there. The Upper Valley in the mid to upper 30s, 46 in Rutland. So there you can get a sense that Burlington is the outlier this morning. Well, the winds have really kept Burlington warm. They really haven't calmed down, even increased overnight. Had a wind gust to 35 miles an hour. And we do have a sky mixed with some clouds out there at the moment, but New England to New York, it's dry. There's rain on the horizon. Rain's going to be coming through late tonight and tomorrow, and that's the border between the warm and cold air. I mean, huge temperature swings we're talking about by tomorrow night. So today is going to be mainly clear out there, a few afternoon clouds building in. By tonight, the rain really moves in. 2 a.m. here across northern New York. By 6 a.m., it could be heavy at times across portions of the Champlain Valley and then the Upper Valley just on the start of it. By 9 a.m., it works into eastern Vermont, New Hampshire. Notice how strong this front is on the back edge. We have cold air with snow showers across the Adirondacks, snow showers across the Green and White Mountains through tomorrow afternoon, and a decreasing cloud cover by Wednesday, and we're turning mostly sunny and cooler. High today, record high Burlington, 69 degrees. Record likely to be broken in Montpelier, 65. Elsewhere, middle 60s, warm with a few afternoon clouds. And rain after 2 a.m. with increasing clouds. Still windy tonight. Lows in the 40s, highs in the 40s tomorrow. And that's what that blue arrow means. Temperatures will be falling through the day. So by the afternoon, we could even be closer to 42, 41 with a brisk wind, and you'll notice the difference. By Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all sunshine here. The good news on the horizon for the mountains is that we'll cool it down. So it'll be lows in the 20s, highs in the 30s, and hopefully they can make some snow out of that. And in our special report this morning, it was 1 year ago this week that a man shot and killed himself while camping downtown in the Occupy Vermont camp. It turned out that that person was not associated with the movement, but that action did lead to Burlington leaders shutting down the camp. But where did Occupy go? And is this economic movement still around, or was it just a fad that disappeared as quickly as it sprang up around the country? Last year, I spent a night with the group, if you recall, and this year I went back out on the streets to see if I could find any sign if it's still alive. Remember these sights and sounds? The 99%, the protests, even the drinking and arrests. It all happened in Burlington. Last fall, Occupy Vermont flared up just as quickly as other movements across the country, fighting economic inequality. But it seemed to dwindle just as quickly. When we first planned to revisit this story, we were going to call this story The Death of Occupy, but that wouldn't be correct.
That is the world's most bailed out bank.
The protests still do exist. On a recent Friday afternoon in downtown Burlington, 5 people associated with Occupy gathered on a street corner next to the park that they once camped in.
We're picketing Citizens Bank, the most bailed out bank in Burlington, wholly owned by Royal Bank of Scotland.
I interviewed Matt Kropp 1 year ago when I camped out for a night.
It's sort of transformed a bit.
The movement has. Instead of 40 tents in City Hall Park, just 5 occupiers showed up. Their message, to encourage people to use a credit union rather than a bailed out bank.
This bank picket has kind of like a core group, but then other people will come out for specific things.
Kropp says their hub from City Hall Park last year has now moved to the corner of St. Paul and College Streets. They don't have anything big planned in the future, but they're still targeting Wall Street.
What the encampment did was allow for people to really get to know each other, and then that trust has flowed into so many different projects that would have been impossible without that community that emerged out of the experience of the encampment.
Dr. Frances Fox Piven knows a thing or two about movements like Occupy.
I pay a lot of attention to social movements.
She's a distinguished professor of political science and sociology at the City University of New York. I caught up with her when she was in Burlington to talk at UVM about historic movements.
Well, I think that Occupy, in its many forms, will continue.
She seconds what Kropp said earlier, that Occupy is in a different phase now, but will continue, even if it's quietly.
An important movement lasts a long time. It doesn't go up and then fall down like a 4th of July rocket.
In fact, she wants it to. She supports movements that point out big issues, such as social and economic inequality.
We are now the most unequal country in the developed world, bar none.
Dr. Piven adds that, realize it or not, Occupy did influence other events, such as the recent Chicago teachers' strike.
They took inspiration and energy from the Occupy example, and I think other groups are now as well.
So while we may not see the tents or hear as much constant chatter, we can't call Occupy dead. The movement is still in its early stages, will likely continue to transform over time.
There's a community that exists now that didn't exist a year ago. That's actually people willing to do that work, which is really cool.
And Dr. Piven, who you saw there in the story, says these historic movements, and she studies them, often last for decades. She adds that this particular Occupy movement will likely be around until the problems they're highlighting get fixed or get much better.